faces are constantly producing subtle changes in expression, often before we consciously recognize or describe what we're feeling. Automated facial expression analysis allows researchers to track these moment by moment responses and examine how strongly an image engages us or whether it produces signs of positive emotion. This is especially relevant to a debate now taking place in the United States. After decades in which federal architecture largely avoided prescribing a particular style, with the result, of course, that the style that was built was almost always modern, a new executive order has made classical and traditional architecture the preferred approach for federal public buildings. Supporters argue that civic buildings should be beautiful, recognizable, and inspiring. Critics argue that governments should not impose an official architectural style. But beneath this political and professional controversy lies an empirical question. Do people actually respond differently to traditional and modern federal buildings? In our study, we used facial expression analysis to investigate precisely that. Here, you can watch the aggregated emotional responses develop as participants view each building. We have to note that these buildings were used in a Harris poll study in 2020 that revealed an overwhelming preference to classical architecture, regardless of political affiliation, ethnic origin, um, or any other marker like um, financial status or whatever. Each building appeared for only a few seconds, while facial expression analysis software measured the participants' responses. Um, the upper line shows engagement, while the lower line, the blue one, shows joy or positive emotional expression. The red cursor marks the image being viewed at that exact moment, and notice what happens as the architecture changes. With many of the modern buildings, engagement and positive expression remain rather low or begin to decline. But when we see traditional buildings with recognizable structure, detail, symmetry, and ornament, the emotional readout frequently rises. No single building tells the whole story here. What matters is the repeated pattern across the full sequence and across the participants. The results suggest that architectural appearance is not merely a matter of intellectual taste or preference. Our faces and bodies may respond before we consciously put that response into words. The complete study, as published in the form of a peer-reviewed paper, is linked in the description.